And here I was, this spiritual giant, to speak on revival for the dedication of the ministry center for Life Action, and I needed to go home. And it would have been great if it would have ended there, but it didn't. The close of my friend Billy's funeral, we had friends at our office, and I collapsed and had to be brought to the hospital. And the doctor said it's emotional stress. Spiritual giant can't stand under it. God's stripping away. And finally got well enough to go home, and Billy, my friend, was scheduled to go to Pakistan with me. And my wife and my son went with me. And on the way home from Pakistan, started feeling ill. And plane landed in DFW. And by the time I got to the gate for San Antonio, I found myself lying on the floor in front of the gate, literally shaking. Ambulance had to come get me. I really didn't know whether I was going to live. And came home finally after I was released from the hospital for several days. And I knew I needed to be renewed. I knew God was saying something, but I didn't know what. I received a phone call. I was speaking in Louisiana, having lunch with Wayne Jenkins, the evangelism director for the Louisiana Baptist Convention, and received a phone call while we were having lunch, and some terrorists had kidnapped a man who was translating my materials into his language, and they were demanding $60,000. Before I could even respond, he had been killed. A month later, received a phone call that would cause me to make some discoveries about who I am, realizing that what I had believed all of my life about my own race was not true. I didn't do anything. I said, God, as far as I know, what's going on? I cleared my schedule for this spring because I knew God had me to come to this conference. It's the only place I'm speaking at this spring. And Lord told me to clear my schedule. And this morning, in the prayer meeting, the Lord spoke to my heart. I've been tired. I've been weary. God spoke a verse to my heart. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. And I realized that I had fainted. I had grown weary. And I knew that God's not a liar. I'm the liar. The only reason that could happen is because I haven't spent the kind of time that He wants me to spend waiting on Him. I have been disobedient and not having extended, prolonged times that if the kind of revival is going to come that He wants, that I need to spend. The layers are coming off. And I believe God wants the layers to come off the bus. All of us who are here we got it together. We're here. We're going to bring revival back to our churches. And God's saying, no, I want to do a work in you. I don't know who that's for, but I want us to bow our heads and close our eyes. And you heard me share my heart in that time there at the Cove at the Billy Graham Training Center. God did a deep work in my life, and I suspect that God's speaking to your heart. And I hope that you will take some time and just get away with the Lord. You know, it was in the early morning prayer meeting that God spoke that to my heart, and I think that was significant. Young Evan Roberts during the Welsh revival would say that he didn't want to miss the prayer meeting. He was told, don't miss the prayer meeting. Someone told him, don't miss the prayer meeting because God may come. And boy, that time alone with God, God wants to meet with us. God wants to come. I was renewed. I was restored. I was refreshed. And God came and met with me. And I just want to say to you that God will meet with you. God will meet with you. You need to, whatever you need to do to rearrange your schedule, you need to do it. And because He wants to meet with you, He's renewed me. Elliot, I just want to tell you that, the story didn't end there. I mean, we had another, that was the end of, I think, the first conference, and then we went into a second conference. And while we were there, the Lord spoke to my heart specifically about what He had done in my heart, about that having that time with Him and stripping away those masks. But the specific thing He told me was that for 7 days following the Heart Cry Conference, I needed to spend 3 hours a day with Him. Now, you know my schedule, and around here I'm busy with a lot of things going on, and it's a pretty busy time. And I said, Lord, how am I going to do this? And the Lord showed me something that an hour and a half each morning and an hour and a half each evening. And so before we went into this, we were talking about cutting off the television. Right. And I'm so weak, it's hard for me to do that. So what I did was I got out of the house after dinner. And I would just go and find a quiet place and walk and pray for an hour and a half each evening. And you know what I discovered? As busy as I am, it really didn't do a whole bunch to my schedule.